Okay, so if you look at number 1, what does that look like? It looks like a straight. Okay, look at number 3. What does that look like? Obtuse. Okay, you would know if it was a right because it would be perfectly straight, and this one's a little bit bigger than that. Okay, so this one is going to be obtuse. Bless you. Look at number 5, 5 through 8. They gave us the degree measure. Okay, and so that's why I wrote those up there. That way you had them. Okay, 143 degrees is going to be what? Obtuse. So again, I said bigger than 91. Okay, so bigger than 91, that's going to be obtuse. Okay, what about 90? All right, okay, so 90 says acute. Or no, Jesus, he said acute. Look. So maybe you need the numbers. Okay. I'm going to try to be funny. Okay, draw and label the angle to fit each description. So we need an obtuse angle, right? So it's going to be really wide. Okay, does it matter where we put stuff? What do we do with those letters? Okay, where does one of them have to go? C has to go right at the corner in the middle. So this one has to be C. Okay, this one could be D or B. Okay, and this one could be D or B. Okay, the other way, just so we have our angles, okay, you could also call it like this. And just call something C. Okay, because that's the one you guys are all going to miss. Okay, if it's like this, C, an angle doesn't have to have 3, it could just have 1. It could be just called 4. Okay, you have to have a vertex label. The other 2 are kind of optional. Now on this one, because it gives you 3. But if it only gave you 1, then you only have to use 1. Okay, number 11, they want us to draw an obtuse angle. Okay, so again, we want something fairly large, spread out. Okay, what is this called anyways? Anybody remember? It's the vertex. Okay, so my vertex needs to be what? W. Okay, and I could call this one B or X, and I could call this one B or X. Okay, but my vertex needs to be W. Okay, this next section on here, name the relationship. So complementary means they add together to 90 degrees. Okay, a linear pair means adds together to be 180 degrees. Okay, so that's the difference between those two. Okay, the vertical angles are going to be across from each other. Okay, and there's 2 pictures that you're going to commonly see. Okay, so this one is vertical to this one. Okay, or the other one you might see is going to be like, okay, and this one is vertical to this one. Okay, so those are what vertical looks like. They're right across from each other. Okay, and then the adjacent angles are going to be right next to each other. So these are going to be next to. Each other. So it can look like this, A and B, Okay, it can look like this with A and B. Okay, but they're going to be right next to each other. Okay, so if we look at number 13, it says name the relationship. So we got 4 things to choose from. Okay, what is 13? Okay, are they complementary? Do they look like they add up to be a 90-degree angle?
No.
No. Okay, do they look like they could add up to be 180?
No. Yes.
They do. Okay, are they right across from each other?
Yeah. No.
No. Are they right next to each other?
Yes.
Yes, so this one could be linear, and it could be adjacent. Okay, so you kind of just got to run through these and know. Some you're only going to have one option, and some you're going to have maybe that have 2 options. Okay? Okay, look at 15. Okay, do they look like they add up to be 90 degrees? No. Do they look like they would add up to be 180 degrees, so a straight line?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Okay. Are they right across from each other? No. Okay. Are they right next to each other?
Yes.
Yes. So then it's going to be adjacent. Mm-mm. Okay. And this, if you even need to, you can draw a picture. When we say add up to be 90 degrees, okay, that means it's going to add up to be that perfect square like that with A and B. Okay, whereas this one, they're going to add up to be A and B. They're going to add up to be a straight line like that. Okay. Okay, what about 17? Okay, so they do look like they're going to add up to be 90 degrees. And what, are they across from each other?
Yeah. Oh, no. They're next to each other.
No, are they right next to each other?
Yes.
Yeah, so these can be adjacent and complementary.
For on the test, would we have to put both, or would we just have to put one?
I haven't looked at the test.
Okay.
Okay, 19. Do they look like they add up to be 90 degrees?
I thought when they got that.
90's like this, like a perfect.
They don't have a box that goes 90.
Okay.
But you said what number we on? Are we on 17?
19.
17?
Do they look like they add up to be 180 degrees?
No.
No. Okay, are they right next to or across from each other?
Right next to it.
Right next to, which is what? Adjacent. Okay, find the angle of measure B. Okay, so these ones, you have really 4 options to work with. So we can say from 90 degrees, 180, 360, or equals. Okay, the 360 you'll notice like a half circle or some sort of circle. Okay, but the other ones, they're going to look like they're going to make a square or a straight line. Okay, so that's the difference between the ones, and those are going to be your only options. Okay, so if we look at this first one, is that going to be 90, 80, 360, or equals? 360. Okay, and I'm going to write this out, but some of you guys won't need to, but you may need it for your sheet. Okay, so we're going to say 360 minus 299 minus 31. Huh? 30? Somebody agree with that?
Yeah.
30. Okay, now, you are not required to write that out that way, but that way you have it on your sheet, so then when you're doing it on your test, that way you don't forget how to do it. Okay? Okay, if we look at 23, we're going to be using 90, 180, 360, or equals? 90. So you're going to say 90 minus 38 is gonna give me that B. And what is 90 minus 38? 52?
Yeah.
52. And really that one is 52. This one right here is 30. Okay, to that B. Okay, 25, are we doing 90, 180, 360, or equals? 90, so you're gonna say 90 minus what? 90 minus what? 62. 28?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one is gonna be the 28. Okay, 27. Are you gonna do 90, 180, 360, or?
360.
Yeah. Anthony, please. Okay, so 360 minus 293 minus 40.
27.
27, somebody agree with that?
Yep.
We're getting there, we're got time left there. Okay, for these next few, you're gonna need the formulas. Okay, so make sure that you have them on your paper. So, this one, they want you to find the midpoint. Okay, so, and I'm even gonna go as far as to write the formula twice for the x's and the y's, but you should be able to tell the difference. Okay, you're gonna say x1 plus x2 over 2. And you got the y1 plus y2 over 2. Mhm. Oh no, y1 plus y2. I haven't heard you and I friggin' said it. Okay, so this is to find the midpoint. Okay, here's what I can tell you. If you're looking at the problems on your test and you don't know which formula, read the directions or circle this really big. This is only for this set of questions for the midpoint. Okay? Because they all kind of look the same. Okay, so we're going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, well, what is my x1?
0.
0 plus x2.
-2.
Negative 2 over 2. And what is that?
-1.
-1? -1, and you're going to put that here. Okay, for the y's. Okay, I got 1 plus -4 over 2. What is that?
-1.5. That's what I
What's the fraction?
got.
Hit your SD.
-3 over 2.
Okay, and so this is your answer. This is how your answer should look. Okay, as a coordinate.
You like, we gotta do that.
Can we do it in the number form or no?
No. Can you get your fraction one? Make it 1 plus -4 over 2. Okay, 31, we're going to say x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is going to look like -1 plus -4 over 2. Okay, and what did you get when you typed that in? Okay, so when you're typing these in, you're gonna have to push this button first, and then you would type it in just the way it looks, and then it'll start off one.
-5/2.
-5/2. Okay, so that's what we're gonna put there for that one. Okay, and then we got -1 plus 3/2.
1.
1,
So again,
1. Can I scroll? Okay, the endpoint. This is the one you're gonna say, make sure you have the formula. x1 plus x2/2 equals x3. Okay, and then you're gonna have y1 plus y2/2 equals y3. Okay, and I'll even go so far as to write the steps, okay? So you're gonna times 2 on both sides. And then you add or subtract. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about, but those are gonna be the steps. Okay, you're gonna times 2, and then you add or subtract. Okay, so when we label an endpoint, this one's gonna get called x1, y1. This one gets called x3, y3. Okay, because this is a practice problem, make sure that you label them so when you're doing it by yourself, you know where to put everything. Okay, you should be able to look at this one and look at your test and be able to kind of match the stuff up. Okay? So, my x1 is going to be -10. Do we know x2? No, so we're going to say x2/2 equals my x3. It's going to be -7. Okay, so we set it up, and if we go by those instructions that I just wrote, it says times 2 on both sides, okay, which is what we're going to do. We're going to say times 2 times 2. Okay, so we get -10 plus x2 equals -14. Okay, and then are we going to add or subtract? Add. We're going to add 10 to both sides. Okay, so my x2 is going to be -4. Okay, and again, the same way we did before, we're going to put the -4 here. Okay, for the other side, we're going to do the y. So I got y1 plus, which is -1, plus y2, which I don't know, over 2, equals y3. No, that's wrong. Equals 3. And again, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So I get -1 plus y2 equals 6. And then are we going to add or subtract? We're going to add 1 to both sides. Okay, which is 13, and we're going to put that in that spot. Can I scroll or no? We got 3 left. Okay, we're gonna say x1, y1, x3, y3. Okay, so it's gonna look like -6 plus x2 over 2 equals -4. Okay, so we're gonna times it by 2 on both sides. We get -6 plus x2 equals -8. And are we gonna add or subtract? Huh? Add. Okay, for the y's, we're going to say -1, -6 plus y2 over 2 equals -10. Okay, we're going to times by 2 on both sides. I got -6 plus y2 equals -20. Now we're going to add or subtract. Add 6. So we get y2 equals -14. And that one goes there in that coordinate. Okay, the last one on here is for the distance formula. Okay, I'm going to do one the long way and one the short way. Okay, it said x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, and again, make sure that formula is on your sheet. You can use this sheet on your test. I will not give you a formula the day of. You're like, I'm saying I don't remember the formula. Well, then I guess you should have written it down. Okay, I don't make you guys take notes all the time, so the very few notes that I do have you have, definitely make sure that you have them. What?
What day is the test one?
I don't know, I gotta look at the schedule. I think next Thursday. Okay, so we can go ahead and label x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, this very first one, we're gonna do the long way. Okay, so x2 is what? 2 minus 0 squared plus y2 is going to be 2 minus -1 squared. Okay, what is 2 minus 0? 2. Okay, and then you do this one. 2 minus -1. It's 2 minus -1. 3. Okay, what's 2 squared? 4. 3 squared? 9. What is 4 plus 9? 13. And then what do we do? We don't leave it as square root of 13, what do we do? Huh?
So that's square root.
Yep, so we're gonna type it in our calculator and it'll give us the decimal.
About
3.6. Anybody else?
Yeah.
3.6? Okay, so that one we did the long way. Okay, this one we're gonna do the short way. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so we have negative 2 minus 8 squared plus 3 minus negative 5 squared. What'd you guys get? 12.8? 5.8? You got 12.8? 12.8?